up, U.S. City volunteers distribute cash cards and blankets to flood survivors in New York. And women wearing makeup may seem more appealing, but is it really doing us more favor than harm? Welcome to Our Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up, in the United States, continuous rainfall in upstate New York at the end of June caused flooding in many areas, forcing families to flee their homes. To help, New York City volunteers arrived at the hard-hit area of Mohawk Village to distribute cash cards and blankets to a total of 97 households.
In the United States, persistent rain in June in upstate New York caused severe flooding, which destroyed houses and forced many to flee their homes. Tzu Chi volunteers from Flushing, New York and Boston, Massachusetts spent 4 hours on the road to get to the hard-hit area of Mohawk Village. There, volunteers borrowed a church hall to hold a relief distribution.
Although it's been 2 months since the flooding, we can still feel how scared these residents were. With Tzu Chi volunteers giving them love and care, they can experience the warmth of society again.
In the wake of the disaster, residents had to fend for themselves, as governmental aid has yet to reach them. When speaking of the disaster, many vividly recount their story.
My house was demolished. I woke up at 2:30. It was nothing in the cellar. By 4:30, it was so much water on the second floor that they had to carry me out of the house with me and my dog Daisy.
Tzu Chi volunteers brought along their signature eco blankets and $300 cash cards for each recipient. Local residents now look to the future with more optimism.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Top to bottom, you guys are a stand-up organization. Great feedback from the public that came here. Not that we ever want to go through the disaster again, but anytime we could have you guys back in the future, we'd certainly love to.
That was the first time I've heard of your organization. I think it's great as I watched it. You guys are all over the world, and it's beautiful that you're out there helping people.
It took a disaster to bring Tzu Chi into their lives, but the bonds that have been formed today will be cemented in each recipient's heart.
Also in the United States, but in Washington, D.C., at a series of events held to mark the 50th anniversary of the famous speech delivered by Martin Luther King Jr., city volunteers were also invited to take part in educational conferences at the White House, where they seized the opportunity to share Master Zheng Yanxing's aphorisms with other participants.
Wish us good luck.
To mark the 50th anniversary since Martin Luther King Jr. delivered the famous I Have a Dream speech, the U.S. government is holding a series of events in Washington, D.C. Tzu Chi volunteers were among those invited to the White House to take part in an educational conference.
We did it. We brought 50 Jingsi aphorism volumes and we gave out 35 of them today.
We went to the White House, and it was what we wanted to accomplish. When I went there, I told them these wise words are the wisdom of our master, and that it will help them throughout a lifetime. They were all really happy to hear that and said they will read it.
True blessings flow from our ability to love and be loved by others. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for this gift. It's a wonderful example of where there's just wisdom that comes from faith traditions. I have this sitting on my desk. I just move through it page by page using the bookmark.
I just got the book less than an hour ago, so what I know is that it's really beautiful and that I've committed to reading it.
The conference, organized by the U.S. Education Department, was aimed at ensuring students of all ethnicity and race receive equal access to education, and is similar to a program which Tzu Chi volunteers have been promoting.
I think we first ran across Tzu Chi in San Francisco and saw the great work just where it's happening right there in the school. All of that is central to what we need in America from communities across the country to say we're going to take seriously every single kid as a person.
We will go to school every single morning, open up the school, 华盛顿 DC， 我们在做政策，我们在做资源的架构。那里面一个
Washington, D.C. is working to come up with a strategy and a structure for conservation work. What's important is our goal in the Promise Community program. How can we build a promising community through a child to their family, to their school and community, and eventually to the whole country?
Through bringing the master's Tzu Chi aphorisms to the White House, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to work in partnership with the government in building a brighter future for the generations to come. On August 28, the ROC Organ Donation Association celebrated its 20th anniversary. To commemorate this occasion, in today's report, we learn the story of the Yang family whose son Sun Long was declared brain dead following a car accident years ago. Knowing his son loved to volunteer, Yang Ying-ting decided to sign his son's organ donor consent forms.
I told him that I was sorry. Because I didn't take good care of him, and this made his life difficult. Later, he was able to attend college and our economic situation got better. But by then, he was no longer with us. So, even if I wanted to make his life easier, it was already of no use.
In 2010, a car accident shattered the growing harmony and prosperity of the Yang family.
After hearing he was in a car accident, I thought at worst he would have some broken bones. We never imagined it was so serious. I then told my son that I had made a decision. He was going in for surgery. If it left him in a coma, I would accept that. Otherwise, I would donate his organs to help others.
For Yang, signing the organ donation consent forms symbolized a final closure in his relationship with his son in this life and body. It was not an easy decision, either for him or the medical staff in charge of his son.
When a patient is brain dead, they are considered no longer being savable. But on the other hand, you can still see them, touch them, and so it's hard for the mind to accept that this person is already gone.
Thinking of how Shun Long used to spend many of his weekends volunteering, Yang decided that donating his son's organs was something that he would have approved of.
He no longer needed them. All his organs and even his bones were donated. So when it came time to cremate him, his ashes were a lot less than you usually see. But after seeing his ashes, I realized that we had made the right decision in donating his organs to help others. Otherwise, it all gets burned and all is left is ash, which is no use to anyone.
Although Shun Long passed away at 23, following his organ donation, there is a part of him that seems to live on.
The fact that he is not here is a truth I have to face. But I still feel that in donating his organs, there is a part of him that continues to live on.
It was Shun Long's wish after graduation to open a restaurant to serve students studying away from home. In order to honor this wish, his family did just that. Now living his son's dream on his behalf, this father and son connection seems to be stronger than ever.
In our continuing series of reports on the truth behind skincare and cosmetic products, we take a look at whether the application of cosmetics brings more appeal or harm to our skin. In fact, prolonged application of makeup makes it difficult for the skin to breathe, and if you neglect to do proper cleansing, over time it will bring your skin harm rather than the enhanced appearance you were hoping for.
It is said that our eyes are the window to our soul. Contacts, eye makeup, and some false lashes are just some of the items used to give yourself dazzling eyes. Although these items may enhance your appearance, they may also easily harm your eyes and vision. What should be a distinctly white and black part of the eye now has pigments of shimmer under the light.
Like these granules here, they are all glitter. Some of the eyeshadow you apply is stuck to your contact lenses.
How did eye makeup find its way into our eyes?
Like here, she applied her makeup very close to her eyelids, and there is some glitter on her bottom lashes as well, so it can very easily get into the eyes. Most of my patients often have makeup residue in their tear ducts when they come to see me.
This is a common problem seen during Dr. Shu's clinical hours. One usually doesn't feel particles in one's eyes. However, if severe, such particles can damage the cornea, cause infections or acute irritation.
Patients often tell me that they haven't applied makeup in days, but there is still some residue in their eye. This is because the lacrimal fluid flows out through here, but there is not enough fluid to push the particles out. And because our tear ducts are very thin, the particles are trapped here, unless it flows out through the lacrimal canals.
As we give our eyes some sparkle and shimmer and chase after the latest trend, the health risks we have exposed ourselves to should not be ignored. Makeup primers, UV protector, foundation, eye makeup, blush, and the final setting powder, etc. are all tools to help give us an enhanced appearance and complexion.
It is a huge toll on our skin. To put it simply, your skin won't be able to breathe, and it will clog your pores. And in a prolonged use of makeup, especially if you are applying it every day, there is a big chance of affecting your skin quality.
The price of an alluring appearance is a dull complexion and damaged skin. Is it a risk we're willing to take? Do female consumers know any better? Many products on the market bring with them a lot of hype regarding their benefits and results, but nowhere will a cosmetic manufacturer point out their product's shortcomings, just like the once popular blemish balms, which misled consumers into believing that cosmetic and skincare products are one and the same.
It is impossible that a cosmetic product will have the same nourishing effects as a skincare product. If it is marketed as a skincare product, which you can use solely on its own, it will actually damage your skin because it is not part of a proper skincare routine.
As makeup clogs our pores and traps our skin, we should be careful not to under-cleanse or over-cleanse, as both creates a burden for our skin.
彩妆的东西，它通常都是会有一些
Cosmetic products contain chemical ingredients which have adverse effects on our skin. I would suggest that we don't apply makeup if we don't have to. Also, cleansing is very important. Some middle-aged women neglect to remove their makeup properly or use sunscreen, which leaves them with pigmentation and adult skin.
Don't forget, we're not the only ones who need to breathe. Our skin needs to breathe as well. Remember to give your skin enough time to reinvigorate, as a natural healthy complexion is the best makeup any woman can wear.
In Taiwan's tribal villages, as many indigenous seniors live in solitude, therefore the chances of them getting involved in accidents and injuries are much higher. To help, Tzu Chi Foundation joined hands with medical staff from Tzu Chi hospitals to install handrails and sitting toilets for many senior residents in the region.
This is local volunteer Li Wensheng, who's the head of Xingshe Village, Fongbing Township. As the village head, Li has to look after some 900 local residents. As a member of the Kavala Nation, regardless of race or faith, Li and two other local residents have become Tzu Chi's three musketeers of the East Coast.
I can't become a certified Tzu Chi volunteer because I am the village head. It's all right. Everyone told me that I am still helping others, just like the Tzu Chi volunteers. I'm very happy to volunteer alongside Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. If I am not busy with a phone call, I will be there to help.
As the village head, Li only needs to care for his fellow villagers, but as a part of Tzu Chi, he has to care for the needy across Fongbing Township.
We have approximately 4,000 residents in Fongbin Township, and 19% of that number are seniors. Since our bathrooms and toilets are old, I sought help from Tzu Chi, and very soon the staff members of the Tzu Chi hospital came to help us.
This is Ling Yumei, who lives on her own in the Bali One tribe. 3 months ago, she fell while walking to the outdoor washroom. Since then, she has been afraid of using it.
This place is very slippery when it rains. I fell down because it was too slippery. I am living on my own, so I need to walk slowly when I go home.
To safeguard the safety of grandmother Ling, Tzu Chi Foundation not only paved the walkway to her house, but also installed a sitting toilet. Other than providing senior residents with material assistance, Tzu Chi volunteers also provide them with emotional support. This grandfather is depressed because he's worried about his wife, who is receiving treatment at a hospital that is 60 kilometers away from home.
He is a member of an indigenous tribe in the Hualien County, so we need to take even better care of him. Master Zheng Yan says we should treat everyone with unconditional love, trust, and forgiveness.
This is Zhang Chunlai, who's the first Tzu Cheng in Fongbin Township with an indigenous background. Although Zhang suffers from asthma, he insists on doing Tzu Chi.
I don't have the strength to carry all these duties by myself. With Tzu Chi brothers and sisters supporting me on the Tzu Chi path, I can carry on. I feel very proud to be part of this big family.
Zhang Chunlai says he was not used to wearing Tzu Chi's blue and white uniform around his community. However, slowly the uniform has helped him inspire many local residents to join his ranks.
你要邀约他们来培训了。跟他讲什么？不是要去上课。去上课就是来见习嘛，见习嘛。对呀，好棒哦。
It is our duties to help others. It is good for us too. Thanks to Master Zheng Yan, I realized that it is a blessing to be able to help those in greater need.
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers' selfless dedication and love, senior residents in Fongbin Township can now all live in safety.
Thank you for setting up this handrail and toilet for me. It is very thoughtful. I am very happy because I can finally live in safety. Thank you so much.
Tzu Chi Sign Language culture has been one of the most outstanding and inspirational parts of the Buddhist NGO. Next, we look back to the history of the musical renditions of various sutras performed in Malaysia. At the Chinese New Year celebration this year, 1,500 on-stage volunteers came together to put on the musical rendition of the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings in Malaysia's Penang. As the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings holds the essence of the Buddhist NGO, the first ever Purity, Great Love and Innumerable Meaning sign language musical was brought live to Hualien, Taiwan in 2007. Though only audience members then, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers were inspired to perform the same show back home. Finally, in 2009, Tzu Chi volunteers kicked off the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings in Penang, and in the 3 years to follow, toured the country to bring the show to some 100,000 audience members.
马来西亚离台湾是那么遥远，可是那里呢，也有一粒粒的种子啊，菩提种子，他们呢都有。 发心立愿，那一念心很增长的那一念心，那就是佛性。他们呢，发心立愿，要传经师法脉，要在那里呢启开慈济中门。
The origin of Tzu Chi Sign Language culture can be traced back to 1981, when, after traveling around Taiwan on home visitations, Master Zheng Yan asked Tzu Chi volunteers to learn sign language in order to communicate with deaf-mute kids recipients. Taking the master's words to heart, in the footage of home visits in the early days, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers can be seen interacting with recipients using sign language. In March 1995, the Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter established a sign language team, and since then the lively performance can be seen at almost every Tzu Chi event.
As disasters are becoming ever more frequent, the work of purifying human minds cannot wait. In the past few years, sign language has become a tool to spread the Master's Dharma. Through large-scale musical performances, we have inspired residents from all walks of life and also our volunteers to go meatless and pray sincerely.
Through incorporating Buddhist scriptures with sign language, Tzu Chi's musical adaptations have become one of the most effective ways to spread the Dharma. The beauty of sign language and the harmonious spirit brought forth by Buddhist sutras has an unlimited power to inspire all of us to change for the better. In Indonesia, the Tzu Chi Batam Liaison Office recently held a community volunteer training seminar with 96 local volunteers taking part. Senior Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Hui Zhao also traveled from Jakarta to share her experiences with these new recruits.
Here at the Tzu Chi Batam Liaison Office in Indonesia, a training seminar was held for future certified Tzu Chi volunteers. Out of the 96 participants, over half of them came from Kota Tanjung Pinang and Tanjung Bali Karimun, with some even being from the Muslim faith.
I first read a book by Master Zheng Yan and wanted to get to know Tzu Chi more. After coming into contact with Tzu Chi's ideals, I realized they were close to our Islamic ideals of helping out others in need. So I then decided to join the training program.
In order to help local volunteers better understand Tzu Chi's 4 missions, Jakarta Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Hui Zhao shared her experiences with the others, hoping the new recruits can take the Master's Dharma to heart and act with wisdom.
Huang Hui Zhao's lecture was really great, sharing with us how Tzu Chi's 4 missions work together and also giving us great advice on the importance of absorbing the Dharma, as well as how we should treasure our affinity with one another inside this big Tzu Chi family.
A class on environmental protection was also prepared, where a quick recycling mnemonic was taught.
I think today's training courses were great. Before I came into contact with Tzu Chi, I had wanted to do volunteer work, but I didn't know how to go about it. After joining in the program, I think I will be able to follow in the Tzu Chi volunteers' footsteps and do charity work now.
These new recruits are finding the right direction and using the right methods to carry out compassionate work. And the future of Tzu Chi is looking bright with this newest batch of volunteers.
Though Typhoon Conrad did not hit Taiwan, however, it brought torrential rainfall throughout the island. In Tainan, Tzu Chi volunteers had set up a disaster command center and also visited residents in a nursing home who had to be evacuated. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.